Let's do this.
Next generation 911 conversations usually begin with, look at all the new data we can bring in. Videos, photos, floor plans, telemetry, sensor feed, medical, vehicle, building access logs, and AI insights. All of it flying toward the console like a fire hose with a Wi-Fi password. And then we get to the uncomfortable part. The number of humans at the console didn't magically double. So today I want to talk about real-world staffing in the NG911 console in the real world. More data, same humans. Because if your operational plan is, well, the call taker can handle it, that's not a plan. That's a wish. And a wish makes for a pretty lousy staffing model. That's coming up next on TiPS, Today in Public Safety.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch. I'm a NENA certified ENP, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I bring you the latest, most informative takes on public safety and emergency communications. Today, we're looking into staffing for the NG911 console. More data, same humans. Now, let's all say it out loud because it's the quiet part that everyone dances around. NG911 is not just a technology upgrade. It's a workload upgrade. The myth, more data equals easier calls. Well, that's the sales pitch version of NG911. More data reduces uncertainty, so calls should be faster, cleaner, and easier. Yeah, I get it. Sometimes that might be true. There are plenty of times that a photo or a precise location can solve a mystery instantly. But more often than not, all you really did was increase the number of decisions that a human has to make in the same minute. In the old world, the caller says, "I'm at the mall, near the big fountain." The call taker asks questions, types notes, and dispatches. In an NG911 world, the caller may send a video. There may be a floor plan. Then you've got the official building name plus 3 aliases. Maybe sensor alarm data is available, some door access event, or a crowd noise level indicator. If a possible gunshot was detected, an alert with the weapon type and confidence score may be displayed. But now the call taker's not just taking a call and dispatching. They're triaging much deeper. More info on the information pile. The job's quietly shifted from collect information to more validation, additional prioritization, and much more specific routing decisions, all based on the information received. That is a completely different cognitive load. Your console is becoming an air traffic control desk. Let me give you the simple framing that I know. Legacy 911 can be as simple as taking a phone call and copying down information. NG911 calls in general will be more like air traffic control. Regardless of the serious level, there's a better likelihood of multiple inputs, multiple feeds, multiple systems, as well as a continuous stream of information that just might matter. Now, not only is that scary, it's the reality. So when we're talking about staffing, we're not just talking about headcount. We're talking about role design. Because if all of this is dumped on the call taker's lap, the result is very predictable. Slower call processing, missed calls, more stress, lower retention, and worse outcomes on the worst days. Yet, still everyone's going to act surprised. The same humans problem is not an insult. It's just math. So this is the part where I'll try to be very direct, but also kind. You can't just add 3 new data streams and keep staffing at the same level and then expect performance to be the same. This is like adding 3 new radio channels and telling the dispatcher, just monitor them all, you'll be fine. No, they're not going to be fine. And the worst part is, if you don't plan for it, you'll likely accidentally train your people to ignore the new data. Not because they're lazy, but because their brain is protecting the mission. When the console becomes a casino of flashing lights, humans start to do what humans do. They filter, they tune out extraneous information, they survive. So staffing for NG911 means building a workflow where the data is usable, not just available to the call taker. The practical staffing move: split the work, not the person. Now, you don't need a futuristic modern command center to make all of this work. You need intentional roles during high-impact incidents and flexible roles during normal operations. Start thinking in terms of functional divisions. For call handling, the human conversation, empathy, clarity, pacing, caller control. For data triage, validate incoming media and supplemental data, and make sure it's attached correctly. Summarize what really matters. For dispatch coordination, make sure the right units get the right information at the right time. And then supervisor oversight. Focus on quality control, escalation, policy decisions, and after-action analysis review through QA and QI. Some centers may actually do versions of this model during major or disruptive incidents. Next Generation 911 just makes it more relevant more often. If your staffing model assumes that every call is a single-threaded activity, Next Generation 911 is going to break that assumption pretty quickly. Training's got to change as well, because click here is not training. Next Generation 911 training can't just be feature training. It's got to be decision training. It has to be so much more than, here's the button that opens the video. Instead, when video arrives, what are the first 3 checks you do to validate it? What do you do if it contradicts the caller? How do you summarize it in one sentence for responders? And when do you stop looking at it because the call is moving on? What you're teaching here is prioritization, not button pushing. And you need to think about building short, repeatable drills that look like real shifts, not perfect classroom scenarios. Because in the real world, the call taker is managing emotion, noise, imperfect data, and time pressure, and doing it all at once. The reality check. If your Next Generation 911 roadmap includes more data, but your operations plan doesn't include things like who triages it, who validates it, who summarizes it, who decides what gets pushed to responders, and how do you prevent overload on routine and chaotic days? Well, you didn't deploy Next Gen 911, but you did deploy stress. And if your staffing conversation stops at, well, we can't hire, we have no budget. Yeah, I get it. Everybody's fighting that battle. But that's what makes workflow design even more important. Because the truth is, more data is only a win if your humans can actually use it. The bottom line. Next Generation 911 staffing isn't about adding bodies until it feels better. It's about designing the console job for the reality of modern inputs. More data, same humans, means you do at least one of these things well. Reduce the noise so signal stands out. Split roles during higher complexity events. Train decision making, not just application navigation. Protect attention like it's a limited resource, because it is. If you do that, NG911 becomes what it should be, a force multiplier. If you don't, it just becomes a distraction machine with really impressive demos. And nobody wants to be the center that says, yeah, we've got that feature, right before admitting, but we never look at it because we're drowning. That wraps up today's episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on social media at Fletch911. And you can visit 911tips.com for a complete archive of my previous episodes. My blogs are available at fletch.tv, and my professional website is fletch911.com. Stay safe, thanks so much for listening, and if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every single day. We'll catch you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10 spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good.